Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Discover a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Hi, this is Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Spate. We were both on a little show you might know called Supernatural.
It had a pretty good run, 15 seasons, 327 episodes.
And though we have seen, of course, every episode many times, we figured, hey, now that we're wrapped, let's watch it all again.
And we can't do that alone, so we're inviting the cast and crew that made the show along for the ride. We've got writers, producers, composers, directors, and we'll of course have some actors on as well, including some certain guys that played some certain pretty iconic brothers.
It was kind of a little bit of a left field choice in the best way possible.
The note from Kripke was, he's great, we love him, but we're looking for like a really intelligent Duchovny type.
With 15 seasons to explore, it's going to be the road trip of several lifetimes. So please join us and subscribe to Supernatural Then and Now.
Dun 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 dun! Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Don't Blame Me. This is an incredibly exciting episode because we are in person together for the first time in...
Since August?
And it's October.
Yeah.
It's been a long, long time coming, and we are so excited to be back. We're in Melissa's new place. I got to see it for the first time, like a whole like cute little studio, recording studio. She doesn't live in a studio. She lives, works, and breathes in one room. That'd be pretty hard for a podcast.
I mean, that's essentially what I was doing in my old place.
That is true.
I'm glad to be out.
Yeah, we're so excited to be here. And I guess I should introduce us. I'm Megan, if you are new here, and I'm joined by what is the only other name I've said? Melissa!
Me!
So exciting.
It's me, Melissa.
Mario. I saw a TikTok of someone who, as like an insult, they were saying like, you look like you pronounce Mario. And they were like, do you not? And I was like, oof, even I know that.
East Coast?
I would think.
Yeah.
But also like, isn't like that East Coast Jersey Italian?
Exactly.
Would they say
Mario?
Mario?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I love that. That's one of Mott's and I's favorite like little bits to do is to pretend that we are New Jersey Italians and we call each other Anthony and it's like a whole thing. So whatever. We're an advice podcast where we give you advice and it's fantastic. It's wonderful. It's life-changing. We've won so many awards, Nobel Peace Prize, Grammy, Emmy, Stream. Now, that one seems a little too close to home. We definitely have not.
I've put us in for nominations about 3 times, but you know, we're not David Dobrik.
Ugh, I wake up every day and I'm like, God, I'm not David Dobrik.
Although Not Too Deep did win the first one, but that was before David Dobrik had a podcast.
Ugh, BDD? I love BDD before David Dobrik.
Yes.
I'm waiting for the Vlog Squad stands to come
at us, please.
I need some good entertainment.
I was following this guy on TikTok who had this, it was Captain America. He had like the shield that you could throw and it would come back. And I followed him for a long time because his videos were really interesting. But then he connected with David Dobrik. And it was after, like it was recent.
Oh, yeah.
And I immediately said unfollow and left.
Yeah, I'm lucky that I have a sixth sense when it comes to David Dobrik adjacent. It is wildly disappointing. Well, so yeah, I guess I should tell you the phone number to call if you want to call in and get some wonderful advice. It is 310-694-0976. And international listeners, you can send us an audio message at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. Got to keep it all under 3 minutes. And the best way to do that is to write everything down that you're going to say. Make sure you don't leave out any details. We have your age in there. Everything that is incredibly relevant. Don't need to know your zodiac sign.
No, thank you. We do need to know that you're here with us on a spiritual level. So please call in today.
Namaste. But also, you have to be 18 or over, have your parents' permission. And yeah, when you practice it, write it down and then time it so you can make sure you're under 3 minutes. It's not hard to stay under 3 minutes.
3 minutes is actually a very long time. And a lot of people, they'll start rushing at the end and they have like a whole minute left.
Yeah. So as long as you've written it down, you will be good. You'll be solid. And we ask this because that's how we can give the best possible advice. Because sometimes we might assume if you like leave out some crucial information, we might assume the worst. I'm not an assume the best kind of person.
And we have in the past.
Yeah.
Because we thought we were putting 2 + 2 together and we got 6 instead of 4.
Yeah. Not my fault. I can't do math. It's not my fault. I'm not good at math. Well, what's new with you?
Honestly, nothing. I can't think of a single thing that's new with me since the last time we recorded. On Friday, I got like a 6-hour massage treatment. That was lovely.
I'm so happy for you.
I went and socialized with some friends.
Wow.
I thought that there was only, because usually this group of friends, there's only like 6 of us, but it was a whole party. And our core group, we were all kind of like in the corner. It was outside.
Yeah.
We were in a corner where like, we wouldn't have came if we knew it was going to be this many people.
Yeah. Like this has taken my whole, like anytime I want to, like I'm invited to anything social, my first question, who's going to be there? And like COVID has taken it to a different level for me.
The thing is like, I usually know. And so I just assumed.
Yeah.
Because it's usually just like 6 of us hanging out in the backyard, chilling. But it was a whole thing.
You got bamboozled.
Like 40 people there.
Hoodwinked.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Bamboozled.
Hoodwinked.
Led astray.
Led astray. I also like to say the wool was pulled over my eyes. Have you seen people on TikTok misinterpreting "You Can't Stop the Beat"?
I can't. That fucking video of the girl who was like, wow, this movie is really racist. Like, how did we never talk about this? And it was like, ma'am,
have you ever, are you actually watching this? The whole thing is about, you know, fighting racism, also body shaming as well.
And that's like the B plot. I'm like, the A plot is racism.
Yes.
Like forefront, like what? It's like not even like that didn't translate to the movie. Like, no, stage production movie. It like killed me when I saw that video, but the comments were still my favorite part.
Yeah.
Wow. Good old TikTok.
Another week of musicals.
Another week of, who are we going to piss off this week? The musical community. The TikTok like hole that I have gotten into is people's overseas, their quarantine. Like New Zealand was like a 14-day quarantine and then Hong Kong was 21 days. It's just been so interesting to like see all of their meals and to like see it's like a very weirdly satisfying thing. Like they unbox their meals every time and all of that. And the girl from New Zealand is like so like kind and like so sweet. And like every time someone's responding, be like, you have to pay for this. She was like, you must be fucking American, you idiot. And I'm like, love that energy. Like I live for this. And they're like, your freedom's being taken away. She goes, no, my freedom was to leave the fucking country. And I know what I fucking signed up for, that I had to do this, you dipshit. Like get the fuck out of my comments. But take in mind, the videos are very much like, and then I got this salmon. It was really delicious. I loved it. And she's like showing it all pretty. But then in the comments, she's just like roasting people, being like, get out of here. Like, I don't give a shit. And I'm like, this is so
beautiful.
Great.
Love
so
it.
That's been the TikTok hole that I've been in, which has been highly entertaining. But then when you get to some of the ones where people are in like, you know, people go from specifically America to places overseas and they quarantine and just stop recording you eating this food and reacting to it because like it's just so racist. Like, and you just need to stop. And then stop talking about like when you're eating this, being like, all I want is McDonald's. Like, where's the normal food? And I'm like, nope.
Also, you're in a different place. Even if you go get McDonald's, it's not going to be the same.
And if you want to talk about like the term normal, it's offensive there. But if you want to like specifically talk geographically, that is
normal.
Like
you're the one that is the anomaly. You are the one that does not fit in.
And it's like, ugh. I was like, I can't. Well, I guess we should start giving some advice.
Yes.
Hi, Megan and Melissa. My name is Ness, and I'm 23 years old, and I use they, them pronouns. I've been wanting to call in for a while now in regards to this problem I'm having, but I've been too nervous until now. I'm just absolutely fed up at this point, and I don't know who else to talk to with this, so I thought might as well push past the anxiety and call you too. So long story short, my roommate, let's call them Jay, They are 22 years old and they use they, them pronouns as well. They're very lazy and mopey and just in general a very complainy person. They have a large golden retriever and they take care of it way less than they probably should be. And it's starting to not only affect the dog's mood, but mine as well. Jay sleeps until 10 a.m. when they have to go to work, and maybe half of those times they have enough time to take the dog out to pee. Other than that, the dog has to hold it and stay in the apartment alone until they get back. Plus, Jay never takes the dog on walks, so he's not even getting exercise. In the past, the dog became 100% my burden because I felt bad for him, so I took him on walks and fed him and played with him, etc. A couple of weeks ago, I stood my ground and told Jay that I couldn't have this happening and that I couldn't be the dog's only means of exercise and meals anymore since I have my own life and job. It got better for a week or two, and now it has all hit the fan, and I'm about to literally snap. I don't know what to do. My other roommates say to ignore it and to ignore the dog, and I know I don't want to take care of a responsibility that isn't mine, but I also feel so bad for the poor dog. I would go more into detail about how this roommate doesn't pitch in when it comes to chores or cleaning supplies and leaves the common spaces an absolute wreck, but I don't want to run out of time. I've already spoken up once to Jay about my annoyance with all of this, but the thing is I'm scared to say anything again because I don't want them to hate me. What do I do? Please help. Thank you.
In this situation, I believe it's okay if you let someone hate you because this dog is their responsibility and they're not taking care of their dog, and that is abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And so you said it got better. I would keep talking to them about it. Like, I don't care if they won't like you. It doesn't matter because they're abusing this animal.
Yeah. From what it seems like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like there are 3 roommates.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't sound like you are incredibly close friends with any of these people. So it sounds like to me that this isn't so much of a case of, I want to preserve this friendship. It's more, I have to live with this person. And I wonder if the part of the reason you're worried about them hating you is that it will then get vindictive and spiteful and everything that they're doing will get worse because they will be like mad and angry. And that is something that's completely unavoidable. Like if they're going to hate you for this, that's on them. And I think like it would be incredibly hard to like watch someone abuse their dogs and just not be present and all of that. Like it's really, really bad. And so I think that like saying something to them, you should do that. But I think you also kind of need to come up with a game plan of like what other actions to do, because it doesn't really seem like that worked long term. But on the other hand, like it did work for a bit. And so as much as it sucks, maybe it is that constant reminder. So like you get those like couple weeks where it's good and then when it's not, and then when it's good and then when it's not. And so it sucks to kind of have to parent a roommate and to like keep them on top of something like that. So yeah, I think it's like either it's like a constant reminders, which totally sucks. But then maybe it's a conversation of being like, hey, so we talked about this before and this is something that got a lot better for us, like a period of time. And now it feels like it's worse than ever. How can we figure this out? And put that on them and like have this conversation. Like, what can we do? Because what's happening right now is not working. I don't know what they'll say from that, but it's like, okay, so would it be helpful for you what if we made a chart that we put on the door that's like, or if you got up earlier to make sure you had time to take the dog out, or you took a dog on a walk at this time every day, or you hire a dog walker or something like that, where again, it's parenting a roommate and kind of handholding them through like how to be responsible, which sucks. But I think that's kind of like your only other option besides like, I wouldn't call like any sort of like animal safety thing, because a lot of the time they'll just not look into it and they'll just like
or they'll take the dog and the dog.
Not a great system a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Or you again just take that responsibility of the dog.
Yeah. When I had a roommate, she was constantly out of town and wouldn't tell me and left her cat there. And so I would just feed the cat because the cat would be like outside my door crying, whining. So then I just took it upon myself, like, I'll take care of the cat. And I didn't say anything because it's not like a dog where you have to take them outside to use the bathroom and stuff. It's just me opening up a can of cat food. But Yeah, it's a lot.
I had a very similar situation like this happen, and my solution is not attainable. I just moved. Like, that's what I did. And it had gotten to be like very, very, very bad. This person would go out of town and I would come back and like the dogs would be there and I'd be like, and then find out like 2 days like I'm like, okay, I guess you're not here. I guess and like it's horrible and it really, really sucks. So I really, really feel for you. We both can relate, like really feel for you on that. But yeah, I don't think moving is an attainable kind of thing.
Or if it's like bothering you and the other roommates, maybe when the lease comes up again, kick them out.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Or maybe there's something in your lease that they have not abided by and honored that you could.
Is the dog on the lease?
Yeah.
Is the dog supposed to be on the lease?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's also a golden retriever. That's a big dog.
I know. It just breaks my heart. Like, I don't know how you could like look at that precious little face and be like, no, I'm not going to take you for a walk. Maybe like stage someone a kidnapping of the dog.
Find someone to adopt the dog, but say that the dog got loose and ran away.
Yeah.
Well, first you got to see if the dog's shipped.
I'm going to say no. That's not real advice. Okay.
Next call.
Hey guys, I'm 25 and use she, her pronouns. And in the story, I'll be talking about a guy who we'll call K, who is also 25 and uses he, him pronouns. So for background, I met K when I was a freshman in college. We met through mutual friends. Freshman year, we became good friends and would hang out with all of our mutual friends together. But I had a boyfriend at the time, and I never thought that he liked me until my mutual friend told me that he did. But nothing ever came of it because I was in a relationship at the time. My boyfriend and I at the time were on and off for most of college, and Kay was kind of always my go-to when I was single. And I was it. When I wasn't in a relationship, he and I would both text each other and be each other's 2 a.m. booty calls. Things never went more than cuddling in bed and making out. We were each other's plus ones throughout college for sorority and fraternity formals. Kay and I have hung out once since graduating college. I have since moved away from the town we went to college in, and every 2 months or so, Kay will text me and check in on how I'm doing. Oftentimes, I can tell that he is drunk when he's texting me because it's later at night and he gets a little bit of liquid courage and will tell me that he likes me, or previously he's kind of alluded to him wishing that he had asked me out in college. Every time I hang out with Kay or get a text from him, I get butterflies in my stomach, and I do think that he and I could have had something really great. But at this stage in my life, I want to stay in the town that I'm currently living in because it's where I grew up and where my family is. He lives 6 hours away in the town that we went to college in, and it's also where he grew up and where his family is. I would never expect this friendship to turn into anything more, nor do I think that I really want it to, because of us having not hung out very much in the past 4 years, as well as neither of us moving to where the other one is. That being said, Kay texted me the other day saying that his friends will be going on a cruise next August and is wondering if I would be his plus one for it, and that all my expenses would be paid for. Now my question is, do I go on that cruise when I know that I'll be sharing a room with him and knowing that he does continue to have a crush on me? I kind of really want to, but I've been talking to my friends about it and I'm getting mixed opinions from them. I think it's probably important to note that while I have not hung out with him in a while, I do trust him wholeheartedly, and it's also important to note that he didn't date anyone all of college, and to my knowledge has still not dated anybody since college. Look forward to hearing your guys' advice. Bye.
I don't even like cruises, but you should go on the cruise.
100%. I hate cruises as well. To semi-quote the woman from the LuLaRoe documentary, it's just something about being in the middle of the ocean with a whole bunch of white people. Not my thing.
That was like, when I saw that on TikTok, I was like, I gotta watch this.
Documentary wasn't that great. But yeah, I'd go. Why not?
I think the reason that you're saying that you're like, I have no intention of moving from where I am. He has no intention of moving from where he is. Like, we haven't really seen each other. So, like, not saying like we're immediately going to date at all. That's his mindset too. Like, there is no misleading here at all, unless you've had a conversation about like wanting to date. Like, and him being drunk and be like, I should have asked you out or whatever. Like, this is not any sort of misleading either way. Because again, at the end of the day, like, you both know that you like where you live. This is where you want to end up, and you're 6 hours apart from each other. Like,
yeah. That sounds like a dream to me.
Yeah.
Especially, and then like maritime law, you know, you're in the middle of the ocean. All rules. No rules.
You're both single. There's no rules anyway. Like, you're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, like, first of all, this is like the beginning of a romance novel. Like, but yeah, I think you should like totally go. I don't think that there is any reason why you shouldn't. I think that, like, I don't want to say you're reading too much into it, but I think you're being like very pragmatic about like, well, what if this means and what if this, all of that stuff. That is not your responsibility to like sift through that. Like, all he did was ask you to go on a cruise.
Yeah, it seems like a fun time to me.
I totally know this. I definitely had one of these people in college where it was like when we were both single, like we would like hang out and like cuddle and like sleep together, but not like have sex, like never had sex and all of that. Here's the thing. We want to have sex with you. And like, this would be like a very fun way to kind of like go back to fun college-y thing. And I think this is like honestly a very non-serious way to do it. It's not him being like, hey, I want to fly you out and take you on a date here. Like, this to me seems like it has the potential that like maybe you guys will hit, like, it'll be so great that one of you will want to move and like make a relationship out of it. But it seems to me like this is kind of like the 25-year-old version of a 2 a.m. booty call. Like, do you want to come on a cruise? Like, we're going to party a ton and we can have sex and it'll be really fun.
You should go.
Yeah. And you're already friends.
You don't get like a boyfriend before then, because that is a long time away.
How are cruises in COVID now?
I honestly don't know.
Not to like really be a downer, but I read the most disturbing article
about the people living on the ships.
Yeah. At the beginning of the or not the beginning. That was like
it was still like
it was the beginning of the pandemic, but the specific article came out, I think, in like the winter time, I think.
Yeah.
One of the most devastating things I've read ever.
Yeah.
So
the beginning of the pandemic, like beginning, they were all just like living there for like a month or two because that's how long people thought the pandemic would last. It just got progressively worse. A lot of people didn't have anything to go back to. Yeah.
No, it was horrendous.
Yeah.
As long as you're like careful and safe with COVID and everything's good. Bring condoms. Bring some lube. Just go. Have fun. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. We are back from the break. We're getting to the rest of the calls.
Hi, Megan and Melissa. I am 21 and I'm currently having a dilemma with a friend. So she is someone who does not fall in love or open up to people easily. She hides things from her closest of friends. However, for some reason, she has opened up to this guy from work, and we have not met him yet. He is from Colombia. He was here on a visa, and now she is going to Colombia, and I'm freaking out. So there's a lot of sex trafficking that goes on there, as well as guys using women for green cards. She's already talking about marriage, and he wants to bring his mom to the U.S. That doesn't sound suspicious. I don't know what does. I'm sorry if I sound very angry. I am freaking out, and I'm worried, and I don't know what to do because every time I try to talk to her about it, or even casually bring up and say, whenever you're ready, please talk to me, but I have some concerns I need to share with you. He could be using you. He could be sex trafficking you. And Colombia tends to find the sweetest and kindest of guys to use to sex traffic women. And she will not. She says, I am not having this conversation right now, and won't respond. There's no way to bring it up. There's no way to talk to her about it. And I don't know what to do because she's going in November. And yeah, I just don't know what to do because I don't want to lose my friend or have her go. She says she's going to a resort, somewhere safe where there's security, but that doesn't matter because I don't know her boyfriend and I can't trust him. She also said that she has Life 360 with her parents, and I don't understand why they're letting her go. She is 20, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. And if there's anything, maybe I'm just over worried. I don't know. If I could have your input, that would be awesome. Thank you so much. I listened to your podcast since it started. I just want to say thank you.
Does this feel racist to you?
Incredibly racist. I don't know if like you live in an area where like specifically your government has been like, hi, there are a lot of like very kind and sweet Colombian men coming to sex traffic and taking these women who work in these fields to like.
You're generalizing something that you heard and you're making it racist.
Sex trafficking is an incredibly real thing, but like
it is happening a lot.
Yeah, but there is a lot of like alt-right propaganda and misinformation about how sex trafficking happens. And if I was your friend, I would be offended on both levels of this is incredibly racist. And also, I don't know how you got to this conclusion. That's what I wanted. Like,
you're right. Just because you haven't met him and he's from Colombia.
Yeah, like I really hope that there's something else that you have like left out and like missed. I think also just as like a note on top of this, which is the first hint that this felt really racist, yes, some people marry some people for green cards. If that is not a conversation that person knows what's happening, like, yes, you can feel incredibly like used and bamboozled and all of that. But just the way that you talked about it just felt like there isn't.
But she likes him. Like, it's not like it's just some random dude that she met that's like, come with me back to my country. She works with him they worked at the same place. The job that they work at has all his information on file.
Nobody ever really makes these these claims when it's Canadians. It's very specific that it's like America is so great. Be aware of be like wary of these foreigners who are using you because they're just trying to get into this amazing and wonderful, perfect country. And like again, it's targeted towards white people from other countries. So is he like substantially older than her? Is she not wanting to introduce you guys to him, but prior to you having anything being held back, like there hasn't been anything sketchy that you've mentioned about their relationship. Everything you've said is sketchy about him, who you haven't met, and the only thing you know about him is that
a nice guy from Colombia that worked with her.
Yeah,
that she apparently likes a lot. Her parents trust him because you said something like her parents are. I can't believe her parents are letting her go. First of all, she's an adult, but second of all, if they don't care, why do you?
Yeah, this is just like, honestly, like you read a Facebook post that this is what's happening. And like you have an internal bias and racism that I don't think that you are aware of because I don't think you would have called into our podcast and used the specific words you used.
If you were my friend and you came to me with that stuff, I'd be like, you know what? You're never meeting him.
Yeah. No, I would be like, fuck you. You do not get to like, this is someone who's important in my life. And like, all you've shown me here in this moment is that like, you're just incredibly racist. Like, and no, there's no way in hell I'm putting someone who I really care about in your orbit at all.
Yeah.
I'm so lost how I don't know. It's so like obviously racist to me that I'm like, do you hear yourself? Yeah. If I was your friend, I would be like incredibly hurt. Like so hurt. And also here's the thing too. I've got like one of my really good friends, her long-term boyfriend is not from the States and was on like a visa for work and all of that stuff. And like when that was expiring, like they talked about like, we'll probably like, we can just get married. And I know other like friends of friends and stuff of people who are just dating. And it's like, well, I really want to continue dating you. And like, if it doesn't work out, we'll get divorced. But like, we're having this conversation that it's like, yeah, we might get married a little bit sooner because like there are, especially during COVID, there are all of these like obstacles in the way of our relationship in that way. And my friend, her now fiance ended up winning the green card lottery. So like they didn't need to do that. But I know some other people who got married and like, you know, it was like not a wedding, got married, continued to date, and then eventually like got engaged again and got married and all of that. So there are just different ways that people go about all of this kind of stuff. And if he's trying to bring his mother to the United States, he was already here. This isn't like she met someone on Facebook who was like catfishing her and being like, please send me money so I can like do X. Like, it's not that. Like, she met somebody in the United States who was also living in the United States.
Who was working with her.
Who was working with her in the United States. And then like the red flag is he wants to bring his mom to the United States where he has resided and he has been working. How does that have anything to do with her? I would be so offended if I was your friend. Like, I think the first thing you need to do, if this hasn't been like a wow, holy shit moment, and like you can give a real honest apology, unpack all of that stuff first and then give her like a very genuine apology. Because like, it's
not it.
If there's something that you like are leaving out and like, which doesn't excuse like any of this, but if it's like you found his name or his phone, like, do you like any indication? Also, again, I would just, Columbia uses really sweet, nice guys for sex trap. What?
Where did you get that from?
Is it like The Bachelor? Is there like an audition process where it's like, how sweet of a guy are you? Like, again, this all sounds like a Facebook screenshotted like 15,000 times post where it's like,
watch out for these
yes,
really nice guys from Colombia. They will deceive you. They're here to steal our daughters.
And also, while you're at it, I would look up a lot about like the actual like truth behind sex trafficking and who it specifically happened.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that ShopPay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Thing too, in like the certain circumstances and situations that it happens more, because that's how we can actually move forward and help those situations versus like, this is giving me Wayfair vibes.
Yeah, same thing.
Same fucking thing. I'm shocked. I am taken aback.
I was, as the call kept going, I was like,
I was waiting for there to be like something.
It just kept getting worse and worse. Anyway.
Yep.
Hi, Megan and Melissa. I love you and I hope you guys are doing okay. So let me just get right into it. I'm 23. I go by she, her. My partner is also 23. He goes by he, him. We've been together for like 2.5 years at this point, most of it long distance. And we've had a lot of talk about the future and are both really committed to each other and love each other a lot. But the problem is that my boyfriend has a really complicated relationship with his family, and that ends up affecting our relationship too. His mom is really, really attached to him, texts and calls him all the time, and is way more involved in his life than I think she should be, considering that he's totally physically, mentally, and financially independent. She'll text him if he doesn't respond. She'll text him again and again and again and call, like that kind of thing. However, he has a really bad relationship with his dad. At this point, he hasn't seen or talked to his dad in like 6 months. He mentioned going to my parents for the upcoming holidays. I'm absolutely thrilled, but I feel like that will really worsen my relationship with mom. Last year, he had committed to coming to Thanksgiving with me, but his mom basically stopped that the day before he was supposed to come for really not valid reasons, like not important, but not valid. I was really, really crushed and angry because at that point, it was still the midst of COVID, and my parents took 2 weeks off work and got tested multiple times to make sure that we were being safe as possible, among a lot of other things, like literally took every precaution in the book. And her reason for not wanting my boyfriend to come to Thanksgiving had nothing to do with COVID at all, which I feel like might have been one of the only valid reasons. But after that, his mom called me and tried to explain, but was being really condescending and basically told me that I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm too young, puppy love and family's more important, that kind of stuff. I'm just nervous that she'll view him coming to Thanksgiving this year as him choosing me over his family again, even though he really just doesn't want to see his dad for valid reasons. My parents also love him so much, and his parents don't like me and have never made an effort to get to know me. I've never felt welcomed by them or that they're excited to see me or, like I said, get to know me at all. Last year, his dad texted him right before Christmas, which he ended up spending with me, and told him to break up with me because he was choosing a girl. What should I do? Should I do anything? Should I call his mom? I don't know.
I also want to mention I'm 100% going to be going to my parents for Thanksgiving. My sister just moved out, and I don't want them to be alone for Thanksgiving. Plus, obviously love them very much and haven't seen them in a while. So, yeah, that's just kind of my dilemma. I really don't know what to do, and I hope you guys can give some good insight into the situation. Thank you. Bye.
There is nothing for you to do. Like, this is his life and his family and his choices and stuff. Like, the only thing that, like, as somebody who has a complicated background, the best thing to do in like most it's kind of like overarching advice is like, ask the person, like, what do you want from me? Like, what can I do from you? Like, do you just want me to like for you? Like, do you just want me to like listen? Do you want me to like give advice? Are we problem solving? Like, are you venting? Like, let me know so I can give what you are looking for and also like not overexert myself and give you something that's not what you're wanting at all. So I think like it's completely valid for him if he doesn't want to spend like Thanksgiving or the holidays with his family. And this is like no knock on you at all. But I think like this is a really complicated relationship. And I think last year you got your hopes up and so did your family and you got really disappointed. And I think if he decides that he's going to come again, be prepared that the same thing might happen again. And like, that's okay. And that's not a knock against you at all. And I think it's probably really easy for you to be objective and be like, well, of course I would choose this. Like my family, like we're so much, like it's so much more pleasant and all of that. But it's his family. There are like those emotions and feelings there. So make sure you and your family, like don't take it personally at all and understand that he's going to make the best choice for him. And that choice might change in the moment. All you can kind of really do is like support him. I think, yeah, having a complicated family life is like very, very hard. And if he's still trying to maintain a relationship with his mom, that's also really hard to maintain a relationship with someone who is like so overbearing and clingy and like over the top and all of that. But that's his own journey to decide how he wants to go about that relationship. And I understand I don't understand his parents for saying that they like should break up with you at all. But like I could see how that feels like you are choosing one over the other. And I'm sure that was like a very hurtful statement to him. But yeah, again, at the end of it, like it's not about you. It's about what you represent. And I think like it sounds like he's probably had a pretty tumultuous home life for a while. And when you guys started dating and you had this seemingly pretty picturesque or pretty like great home life and relationship with your parents and all that kind of stuff, like it shines a light on people who don't have that. And so for him, it's like, oh, I really want to spend time with people like that. And his parents probably like upset because that's not them. And like that feels like you having a happy home life and having a good relationship with your parents feels like a personal attack. It's not about you. Like you're representing something that they don't have and it could be anyone. So I think the more that you can take it like not personally and just like support him, because as annoying this is for you, like it's incredibly hard for him, you know?
Yeah. And you asked if you should call his mom. Absolutely not. If they don't like you as it is, it's not going to do anything but make it worse. If you want them to get to know you, then maybe you guys like FaceTime together, but like you shouldn't be the one reaching out to his family at all.
And ask him, like, do you want me to have a relationship with your family? Because like
he might not even care.
Yeah. And I also think that like it has so nothing to do with you that you don't need to put yourself in that like sphere and that like crossfire at all. And I can't imagine that he would be like that's something he would really need, because I think before he can introduce anyone into his like, he needs to really work on his relationship with his mom specifically. Like if he's done with his relationship with his dad, like that's really fine. But like sounds like he's still maintaining somewhat of a relationship with his mom, and like that needs a lot of work. And you can't force someone or suggest anything. Like again, just ask what he like is looking for from you and what he needs from you, and then give him that, because it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
And you both are very young too. And also if he does come for like the holidays and stuff, like I would just be really like cognizant and aware of the fact that like this isn't going to be the perfect holiday now for him. And you're not going to be like, well, now we're going to show him like how great it can be and like all of that stuff, that this is kind of like a solution. Like if he decides to come, it's still going to be really hard for him. And it's still going to be really hard no matter how happy and great and wonderful your family are, that can kind of make it worse. It's a very, very hard time for people who don't have those kinds of family situations. And I also think if he's going to come for anything, it'd be really great of your parents to make him feel included in the sense of like, is there any dishes that you grew up eating that we can make? Like, are there any traditions that you have so he doesn't feel like, even if home life isn't great, you can still feel not at home in somebody else's home, even if it's a very happy home, because it's not yours. And yours might not be great, but there's something to be said about feeling included in traditions that you're not like joining something that they've done for 25 years that you've never done before. And now this is how everything is done, or starting new things to do together and all of that.
Yeah. I mean, even like with my brother-in-laws joining the family, we've incorporated some of their family traditions in our stuff. So I love adding even more traditions onto what we're doing, or just changing, because like we were the family that like got dressed up on the holidays, and even before we like open presents, which I like.
Turn a look.
Yeah, Megan's exactly. You know me. But still, like Megan's husband his family wears pajamas, and they like have pajama sets that they all wear. And one year it was because of snow. They were supposed to go down to where his family lives, and they couldn't go. And so we all wore pajamas. And then that became a new tradition, is that we wear pajamas now too.
Oh, yeah, I love that. Yeah. I wish more people did that, regardless of like family, like if it's tumultuous family background or not. Like that is incredibly helpful for people to feel included. It doesn't make it feel like, well, next Christmas is my Christmas, or next holiday is my holiday because we're doing it my way. Like that in between of everything, I think it benefits everybody. Okay. Do we have another one?
Yeah.
Hey, friends. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I love your podcast. I just wanted to call in and ask a little question. So I've been with my girlfriend for about 4 years now. She is my life. I love her to death. I'm a Libra. She is a Virgo. We're besties. We've lived together for a lot of that time. And we're both STEM presenting lesbians. Recently, she is like objectively the hot one in the relationship, you know, like she is incredibly fucking beautiful. I don't know how I bagged her. She's just so beautiful. And recently I feel like whenever we go out, it's a little bit hard for me because everyone is constantly complimenting her, and I just kind of feel like I'm in the shadow a little bit. And I haven't brought it up to her because obviously, like, what am I going to say? And I guess more so what I'm asking for is advice on like managing my own insecurity in that way, because I know it's not fair and I know it's unhealthy to compare yourself to a partner in that way. But it's a little bit hard sometimes when, you know, like we'll both put in the effort to like look nice and go out, and she just gets like bombarded with compliments from people because she's so naturally beautiful. And I just don't. Like, that's just not something that happens to me, I guess. I don't really know what kind of advice you could give in that situation, and this is not the most coherent voicemail, but that's kind of the situation. I just want to know if you guys have any tips for managing my own self-perception and like working on making your worth not based off of compliments you get from people, because I think I used to get complimented a lot by strangers when I was younger, and now I just don't. And I have a hard time not taking that as to mean that I've gotten ugly, you know? Love you guys. Thanks.
So my original question before that, the end of this, I was going to be like, what, you've been together for 4 years. Has like something changed in the sense of, I don't mean like aesthetic, like looks, appearance wise or anything, but like, has anything changed in like self-confidence or mental health wise, like for you personally, or even in like relationship, like 4 years in is a good amount of time where you don't necessarily like shower your partner with like compliments about their appearance for a lot of time, or even like in the pandemic, like spending a lot of time like, you know, at home together and all of that. There's a lot like less of like excitement and build up and like that kind of stuff. And so that was like my original question, if there's something had changed that made it be like maybe the compliments hadn't changed or shifted. It was just that you were either less receptive to hearing them for you, or you weren't getting them as much because of just like circumstances. But you said it feels like less since you've gotten older. And I think that like if you take your girlfriend out of the situation, that in itself, I think, is like the root of this. It's like, I feel like I'm getting older and I feel like I am like used to being like complimented a lot on like finding a lot of value in my appearance. But I wonder if part of it is you are worrying about aging because like you've placed a lot of value on your looks. And when I tell you I had that exact conversation with Mats yesterday, Gloria in Modern Family was like freaking out because she had to put her wedding dress back on. And I told Mats, I paused it. I was like, I need you to be prepared for this will be me one day. Like, I'm going to work so hard in therapy, but I'm like the arc of being an ugly duckling to then being cute. And then I'm like, when I lose this, naturally, inevitably, I will not go down without a fight. And it's going to be incredibly hard. Like, that is just like what happens to like how women are perceived in like media once they get older and all of that stuff that like, I really hope that that will change in the future. But I mean, this would bother me too, you know?
Yeah. I see a lot of Gloria in you.
Oh, here's the thing.
It was Cam, but I see more Gloria than
It's
Cam.
Gloria and Cam. When it comes to parenting, I think I will be more of like a Cam. Yeah, no, I am Gloria and Cam and a little bit of Haley. It's the dumb thing.
But you're not dumb.
Well, no, but she's not dumb. Do you know what I mean?
She's not, but she's more reckless than you are.
That is true.
You're not Haley at all.
No. Anyways, I could see this being incredibly, incredibly hard.
I know she mentioned age, but I think she's more so comparing herself to her partner.
Yeah.
And so because the partner is getting a lot of compliments when they go out and she's not, then now she's comparing herself to her partner.
Yeah, that's hard. I mean, I don't think from anyone I know who is in a lesbian relationship, I mean, I think the first thing I would do is like have a conversation with your partner. Like, do you feel like compliments affect you more when they come from her or when they come from strangers?
Yeah.
And then if it is strangers, why is that?
Why do you need outside validation?
And I think you might be able to like logic it a little bit. Are we hanging out with people who I know more, who have seen me more recently than have seen her? Has she gotten a haircut recently? Is she wearing like an outfit or is like something like that? Like, am I hearing a compliment that is maybe someone noticing like, oh my gosh, you got your hair, like it looks so good. And it's that. And like, because you're feeling hyper aware and self-conscious, that it's translating to everyone is saying she's so beautiful and nobody is saying that to me. So I think that like there is like your inner voice that I think is the first thing that I would address, or I guess first unpack what it is you have been feeling. I think there is like a good point to saying like, I have been.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all. I'm JJ.
Hey, guys. It's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests to share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like, it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
Feeling like I've been comparing myself to and feeling like really kind of like jealous, and I don't like that, and I want to tell you that so I don't have to kind of keep sitting with that. It's a very feeling jealous of your partner. It's like can be a very gross feeling. I'm not sure what I want to do or what I need to do to move forward. I'm doing a lot of self-work, but I wanted to include you. And if there's anything that I come up with or anything that like crosses my path as I'm like working on this, I'm going to like keep you in the loop. And if you haven't been getting a lot of compliments from her specifically recently, you can say like, I get a lot of validation from like words of affirmation and stuff. And like, I love when you thank me for doing something or you like compliment these specific things or whatever. But I would love if I could get some like appearance-based compliments as well. Like that would feel really nice and really great.
Make a TikTok.
Yeah. Or like do something for you that makes you feel like you feel really, really good and really hot. So it's like, regardless of the fact of anybody else, you're like, here's the thing, like I look so fucking hot. And like, I know I look bomb. And if no one's saying that, it's because they're intimidated because I am so fucking hot. Like when I get dressed up and I like spend time getting ready and I think you can't tell me shit. You can't tell me fucking shit. I walk by every reflective mirrored surface and I'm pausing. And I'm like, the world is lucky to be in presence of me. Like literally, I was like, I have graced all of you. You are blessed. You are welcome. That is how I feel there. And like, I don't need anybody to tell me I look nice.
Yeah, agree.
But that's like where you have to get to that point.
Yeah, you have to get to that point and you got to figure out why it bothers you so much.
I would think it's probably because like you don't feel great about yourself. And so you are waiting for other people to kind of give their approval. So then you've been given permission to have approval of yourself. And like, that's not the order of it. And also that confidence through the roof, like, I don't think that's an attainable outlook to have every day. I don't think everybody feels that way every single day. If you can get there every once in a, like get there and know what it takes for you to get there and the things that you can do to get there and all of that, that's a great thing, but you don't have to maintain that all of the time. You can live off of that high for a while.
Yeah.
That was me during my birthday in Palm Springs. Like Mott's was like, you look great. I'm like, I know. I look like, I don't even care that I'm getting a compliment. Mm-hmm. And that's where it kind of needs to be.
That's how I felt as well.
And we made TikToks.
Yeah.
And we looked great.
And then people hyped us up on TikTok.
Yeah. We were like,
we know.
Yeah. Well, so we are not going to do a Don't Blame Them because, every once in a while we have calls that everybody feels so impassioned by, that those are the only ones that we have where people call in for. So it's the same 2 calls, boyfriend who plays devil's advocate, and then
devil's advocate and maybe sexist, and the other one always wanted to argue.
Yes. Okay. So if we don't need any more Don't Blame Thems about those, we've already addressed them. So many. But we need some for other episodes. So give us a call.
Calls. You got 4 to 5 per episode that you can call in.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you love cruises. Maybe you know something about cruises that we don't. You're like, hey, this is Don't Blame Them. I'm here to share something.
Maybe you know Tom Cruise.
I know somebody who knows Tom Cruise. Well, that is it for our episode. If you want to call in for an upcoming episode, you can leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. International listeners, send an audio message at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. Everything we said at the beginning applies for the calls. And give us some wild cards. Throw some crazy ones out there. We asked for that the last time and we got the racist one from Bill Clinton. So like,
more.
I mean, this is not an invitation for Rachel to call in with actually,
please,
Rachel, please call
in. Please.
Let's schedule a FaceTime.
Yeah.
Would love to pick your brain. So speaking of Rachel, she's probably going to be leaving another comment. So if y'all want to go and find or leave some nice reviews on the Apple Podcast app to make up for the negative reviews that Rachel continues to leave, we would greatly appreciate it. Love this podcast and the people. From Tori. I hope you guys read this because I am not a Rachel, which I think is funny because now it's no longer, I'm not specific Rachel. I'm not a Rachel. Mm-hmm. It is the new Karen. When I first started listening, I thought you guys were mean, not going to lie. However, I was so wrong. You guys give great, honest advice. I've even called in and gotten some advice from you guys. I look forward to my Mondays of listening to this and feel like you guys are such relatable people. Also, special shout out to Melissa, who gets forgotten about in some of the calls. You are literally a diamond in the rough, and I hope you know I appreciate your work in this podcast.
Thank you.
Tori, you are so kind. And I do think this is like a common thing that like people think that we're mean. And then they realize, oh,
they are mean, but they're also, I'm just joking.
It's one of the things that's like, here's the thing that you will go through this like cycle where it was like, are they mean or was that call racist? Yeah. Or were they mean or was this call dangerous regarding COVID? Were they mean or was this call internalized misogyny and slut shaming? Like, I think that like we have a lot of these things like ingrained in us that like when we hear like the opposing view of it, it's like, wow, that is like so incredibly mean. But then if you get a call that doesn't like force you to challenge your belief system, I don't think you're going to think we're mean.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like there's like, depending on the...
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
content of it, but like, we don't go into it when someone's like, hey, I just got dumped. And I'm like, pick your fucking self up, you fucking dumb bitch. Like, no, that's not what we do.
That's mean.
That is very mean.
And hurtful.
No, like, that's not us. We are mean, but it's like when it's warranted. Otherwise, it doesn't hit the same either.
No.
Can't be on a level 10 always.
We're not fucking Dear Abby or Delilah. Delilah was like a call-in radio show, and she had this really soft
fuck them.
And gave advice. We're not her.
No.
If you want Delilah, call Delilah.
Hey there, Delilah. What's it like in New York City?
Guess what?
What?
Our new podcast comes out this week.
Holy shit. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow, what a treat for those of you who are still listening. We're really excited. If you are a part of our Patreon, which is a shameless plug for our Patreon, go get the videos, live streams, good time. Check it out. We have talked about this at length, and we've also talked about it on I think we're talking about a bit on the Facebook group.
Yeah, the Facebook group. Not for a bit, they wrote in for our pilot, our proof of concept that we did. So
we are excited. We've been listening to you all of saying that you like the chit chat. I mean, some of you don't like the chit chat, but like, then this podcast isn't for you. But people like the chit chat and also like just hearing our takes on more stuff. And we obviously just want to keep adding podcasts and things to do together. So we're really excited. It is called But Am I Wrong? If you've listened to every episode, specifically if you've watched every episode, you will know the exact moment when we realized that this was going to be like our next podcast idea. Think of it, the Am I the Asshole kind of Reddit threads, but as opposed to like us reading things from people who we don't know and all of that, it's a similar people write in, tell us situations in their lives that are currently happening or have happened. Like when you have like that gut feeling where you're like,
I might have been wrong. It might have been me.
Am I the drama? Is it me?
Is it me? And also we add a little pop culture element in there too, where we nominate people in the ether of the world that we think were wrong in situations.
Yeah. Maybe it's current. Maybe there's like a current feud going on, or there's some like celebrity pop culture drama, like, or anything in the news at the time, but then also like old school, historic pop culture kind of stuff. And then also similar things in our lives. But like, it's very much like a chit chatty, topical, current kind of stuff with sprinkling, throwing in there, opening those like bigger conversations that it's like not necessarily always about one person's situation and like giving advice, but kind of like, well, shit, I would have done this exact same thing. Am I an asshole?
Let's talk through it.
Yeah. So it's fun. You get our takes on like a lot of broader subjects and also more like random things and that stuff. So we're very excited.
We have a trailer up, so go subscribe.
Leave a review.
Yeah, even though you haven't listened to
It's fine.
It helps. If you leave a review, it'll shoot us up the charts, and then more people will be able to find us.
So we would appreciate it so much. And go follow our Instagram and our socials because we will talk about it there. You are obviously listening this long. Go comment your favorite emoji on our last Instagram.
Yes. Also buy our merch.
Yes, we have lots of cute merch. Go get it. It's adorable. Everyone looks good in it.
We've been getting pictures. Everybody looks great.
I got to make a collage. I'll post it. And follow us on social. Anything else you want to promote?
No, just our podcast. That's all I want to promote.
Go check out our other podcast.
New episode will be out on Thursday.
So exciting. Look, you have 2 days a week with us now.
Eventually, it'll be every day.
Every day. We will see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Is a production by me. Executive produced by Melissa DeMonts and Diamond Imprint Productions. Edited by Coco Lawrence. Post-production sound by Chris Henry. Production assistance by Melanie D. Watson. Music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso. Hey, are you ready for some real talk and some fantastic laughs? Join me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa DeMonts, for Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong?
We're serving up 4 hilarious shows every week designed to entertain and engage and, possibly enrage you.
And Don't Blame Me, we dive deep into listeners' questions, offering advice that's funny, relatable, and real.
Whether you're dealing with relationship drama or you just need a friend's perspective, we've got you.
Then switch gears with But Am I Wrong, which is for listeners who didn't take our advice and want to know if they are the villains in the situation.
Plus, we share our hot takes on current events and present situations that we might even be wrong in our lives. Spoiler alert, we are actually quite literally never wrong.
But wait, there's more. Check out See You Next Tuesday, where we reveal the juicy results from our listener polls from But Am I Wrong?
And don't miss Fisting Friday, where we catch up, chat about pop culture, TV, and movies. It's the perfect way to kick off your weekend.
So if you're looking for a podcast that feels like a chat with your besties, listen to Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a founder of the Go Kid Go network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. Look for The Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.